Yes, such a pleasure it is to be back at the Duke Barber Shop, baby. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's the Bols podcast, that is, man. Philadelphia to the world.
To the world,
Again, we are everywhere. You dig? Sleeves the Hustler all day long. Still here to get it on. You know what I'm saying? With my good brother Stop, the militant one, a.k.a. brother Byron in the motherfucking building. Dread on the lens. You know what I'm saying? B's the Duke in the back. And I be thinking like I be styling, doing my shit. You know what I'm saying? My own way, with my little buckets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Flipping it bounce and shit all crazy, fake frames. See, I try to have a little watch to go with the shit. But tonight, we are truly in the pleasure of fashion's finest and highest coming out the tri-state area. You know what I'm talking about? From the ground up. Mr. Darrell Alston of the Bungee Brand. Oh, we're about to get into it. Hold up, man. Let's clap it up for the good brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
Damn, you know what I'm saying? And salutations, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate y'all for having me, man. For real.
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for weeks for this.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been waiting for weeks to have you, and we are. See, listen. I thought I was doing some shit with the peach and the blue and shit. Look how he just come in, subtle, but look. I got hair for you niggas, you know what I'm saying? So listen, let me rock the cool, you know what I'm saying? Put the part, slide it back like 88.
There's dimensions
niggas,
to
you know
it. There's levels
this
to
shit's
it.
symmetrical, dog.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But the crazy thing is I overheard he did it himself.
Yeah, I did it myself.
Why the fuck wouldn't he? He do a lot of shit himself that we about to get into, you know what I'm saying? The frames is created upside down. He fuck around and made dumb shits, man. You know what I'm saying? I need a pair. Nigga, what the fuck is going on out here, dog? Like, you know what I mean? Listen, man. Welcome to the Bols.
Welcome to the
Thank you,
Bols,
man.
man.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Welcome, man.
Appreciate it.
First and foremost, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Good,
Yeah.
man. We're definitely glad to have you here. So,
Hold on, stop. If I may, I like to always give niggas nicknames, and this good brother, I like to call him Ventures, because he's always in some type of venture. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be, you know, possibly with the Eagles creating something, you know what I'm saying, that is monumental, that had, 2023 buzzing all crazy. But then, you know, baseball season just came in. Nigga, you thought I forgot about the Phils? Venture. You know what I'm saying? I need one of them as well. You know what I mean? Then don't get it confused. Like, I like my footwear clean. So, you know, I got to create a venture for that as well. So, you know, that's all I'm saying over here.
I mean, yeah, I'm peeping the footwear now. I mean, I don't know if you can see them on the cam, but those are definitely some very clean pieces you got on there.
Yeah, definitely got to switch it up.
Yeah.
One of one type shit. That's the shit I'm talking about. We'll talk off camera, brother. 'Cause I want in.
Oh, those aren't
You know
available
what
for the
I'm saying?
general public yet?
Nah.
Not yet.
That's why I said I want in. I know what one of one shit look like. I'm not wearing anything to this motherfucking show.
Hey, man, I had to show up, man. Like I said, I've been a fan of you guys for a while, and I was actually excited to meet you guys when I met you guys at that party. And like I said, since we met, I was looking forward to coming.
Oh, man,
so
yeah,
I had to show up a little bit with something. You know?
Oh, thanks, man. And we appreciate
expect
that. We
nothing
knew
less,
you was
bro.
going to come correct, though. I mean, we
expect
knew
nothing
that.
less.
We knew that. You know
And
what I'm
that
saying?
party is referring to shout out to Lobos Tequila. Absolutely, man. That was a great night. You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
was.
Done to you by Ethos. You know what I'm saying? Duke in the back. That's another shout out. You know what I'm saying? Black business, man. Ain't it good, man? And no motherfuckers
sir.
got shit going
Yes,
on.
sir.
While
Yes,
we
sir.
got that shit going on,
man.
God damn.
Absolutely, man.
I want to click my
So-
feet.
So where you want to start? What you want to get into first, Leaves?
I mean, we as with all things, man. This is the first time this good brothers on the show, so we got some people might know, but our audience don't know.
Yeah, they might be
so we
completely
gotta bring them
unfamiliar.
back from the get go. And I was doing my research on the good brother, and I'm not sure what show was on because this brother been doing all types of media circuit, like tours and the whole nine. That's why we happy to even have him here. Like, goddamn, I feel the shine from over here. But with that being said, you mentioned something, man, that your mom said to you from the rip when you was a youngin' that stuck with you, and that's actually got you to where you are right now. You understand? And I wanted to go into that, man. You know what I mean?
All right, well, I had a conversation with my mom on the phone on my third arrest. I was incarcerated 3 different times. The first time I got locked up, it was for criminal conspiracy or robbery. I did a year. Mm-hmm. The second time I got locked up, it was a 3 to 6. I got caught with some coke. Mm-hmm. And then the third time I got caught up, it was over.
That's candy. Candy for everybody.
Yeah. And then the third time I got caught up in the same thing, possession with intent to deliver. I ended up getting 7 years that time. Mm-hmm. So when I went in for the 7th year, or to do the 7 years, I called home. My grandfather was about to pass away. Mm. And, you know, he was like my father at the time. So, you know, she started crying and was like, yo, like, I don't know what you're going to do with yourself. But, like, everything is about background checks now. Like, I don't know what you're going to do now. Like, your whole background, your whole future is ruined. And she was like, the only way you're going to be able to survive is if you create your own business. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I hung up the phone, I'm like, I don't know anything else except football and hustling. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know which direction to go. But I just, you know, I got back to the cell for the first time. I prayed. Mm-hmm. And once I got done praying, something told me to pick up a pencil. I started sketching sneakers. Mm-hmm. I never sketched a sneaker. I never sketched anything before in my life, but it looked like I've been sketching for years. And then right after I sketched that sneaker, the next day I woke up and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and sign up for barber school. So I signed up for barber school, and I went down to like audition with the barber teacher, and he told me to do a fade on someone, and it was like I've been cutting for years. I never cut before. Mm-hmm. So it was like, all of a sudden, it just seemed like I was blessed with all these different things that I didn't even know that I had skills to do. So at that point, I ended up going to barber school. I was at SCI Dallas. I went to barber school. I ended up getting like one question wrong on a written test, and I got 100% on the practical part. The practical and the written. Yeah, the practical I got 100%, 98% on the written. And they ended up making me a barber teacher while I was at the prison. So for the rest of the time that I was there, I think it was like another 4 years, I was the barber teacher in there, and then I was still sketching sneakers. Nice. So that's pretty much how everything got started for me. When I came home, that's when I was like, as a matter of fact, before I came home, I ended up getting my mom to send me some business books. So that way I can learn how to write a business plan. I figured out, you know, instead of me waiting until I get home, maybe I need to go ahead and write my plans out now. So I was putting, you know, plans from 1 to 50. This is the first thing I'm going to do, second, all the way down to the 50th. And like the sneaker thing was like the last thing on my list because I knew that the barber shop stuff was more attainable. So I started working at 2 different barber shops, and I just got home, and that was the beginning of a new journey. And that barber life, man, the very beginning of that career, man, it's hard because, you know, it's like if you have someone that's been like going to a certain barber for years, you're the new face to come in. That dude's not getting in your chair. So, you know, for like the first year, something like that, I was
trying to get clientele.
I was lucky if I made like $30 a day when I first came home. And I was just like, you know, that's totally different from what I was used to. Because I was, you know, I was used to hustling. I was used to getting much money. So I remember telling the dude that owned the barbershop, I said, yo, man, like if I can't, you know, get in the mix, I'm going to have to step off. I'm going to have to go back to what I know. And he was like, yo, just be patient. He was like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff is coming up. Just be patient and you'll be able to come up. And then after that happened, I'll never forget it. He ended up going on vacation, and there was another I was working at 2 different barbershops. So I was at a different barbershop. The guy that went on vacation, the other dude that was taking his place didn't show up. So there was a whole bunch of people outside waiting for a haircut on a Saturday morning. And my man caught me from vacation and was like, yo, like, can you just go open the shop? Right. And when I got out there, everyone was so desperate to get cuts that they just jumped in my chair. And I was lacing. They was like, I was lacing. And from that point on, I had my clientele.
Good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
They was hesitant at first. I mean, they got desperate. They was like, yo, I shouldn't have been fronting on him all that time. Like, he's nice.
And the thing that was so crazy was like me sitting in the chair, like waiting. I'm just kind of just sitting in the chair, like everybody's waiting for the one barber that was over there. And I'm like, damn, dude got a bald head. He couldn't give me that.
He's probably looking at him like, I'm nicer than him.
I mean, in actuality, I was feeling that way. Because, you know, when you're a barber, you got to have confidence. It's almost like if you're a football player, ball player, you feel like you got to be the best one there. So when I went in the barbershop, of course I felt like I was the best barber, but I wasn't getting any play. You know what I mean? So it was like when I got my chance to shine, I shined. You know what I mean? And
felt validated. Like, I knew I'm not. I know I'm nice.
At that point, that's when everything started to take off.
Damn, that's excellent.
So that was the beginning. That was like my first year home
Nice.
from prison. But after that, it got real.
Oh,
It got real.
wow. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So you went to prison, started working on a business plan, I guess maximizing your time while you was locked up, incarcerated. So I heard that. Came home, started cutting heads. That didn't work out that great at first, but then it got popping.
Right.
You're cutting hair, sketching shoes on the side, I'm assuming at this time?
Well, at this point, I had over 100 and something sketches already.
Okay.
I had glasses, I had shirts, I had jeans, everything you could possibly think of fashion-wise. Watches, I sketched everything. So I had nothing but time. So when I was incarcerated, the only thing that I did was I sketched, worked at the barber shop, and I had a keyboard. So I used to make beats and take beats out, take the keyboard out to the yard. Everybody, all the rappers in the jail used to come rap with me.
Okay.
So it was like, that was my 3 things that I did. So when I came home from prison, I started making beats for people. So I was making money from that. You know, I was doing the barber thing. I was getting money from that. And then at the time, I started like pressing up like little bungee tees and stuff like that and started hustling them out the barber shop. Where things got real for me is when I ended up going, like, I saved my money up to be able to get a sneaker sample. And I ended up putting that sample on the wall or in the window. And I just kind of just sat there and just stared at it whenever I wasn't cutting hair, just so I could see what I needed to fix on it, how I can, you know, maneuver and make it better. And this guy happened to come in and was like, yo, like, you got them sneakers on the side, such and such, or this. And I was like, nah, I don't. I only have that one. I don't have enough money to be able to get it. So he was like, really? He was like, you have a business plan? I was like, yeah. He was like, meet me at Starbucks tomorrow. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went and I met him at Starbucks. I had 3 different business plans. I wrote them when I was in jail. I showed him the business plan. And within the first 3 or 4 pages, like, how much money you need? And at the time, I only needed like $7,000 or something like that. Okay. So I told him what it was. He was like, I'm going to give you 14. So I'm like, all right, cool. But finish reading the business plan. Long story short, after he read the business plan, dude was like, listen, I'm going to give you $50,000. Wow. Just to be able to get started. And for me, it was wild because I just came home from jail. I'm looked at as being a former inmate, and you don't really get respect that way. You know what I mean? Like, people don't trust you. People don't really bang with you. And for me to be a former inmate and somebody actually wanting to give me something, which I never was given anything, like my whole life I had to scrap for stuff. You know what I mean? Like my adult life. When I was a kid, I was good. But when I was adult, I had to scrap for things. And for this dude to just come in and just give me $50,000 to start my business, it blew my mind away. I didn't think it was real. So then, you know, I want to say maybe 3 days later, he took me to the bank, showed me how to get a tax ID number, showed me all these different things, and I was off to the races after that. And it's needless to say, after the first 2-3 months, I ran through the 50 not knowing what I was doing.
Now, hold on. Before we get too far away, the brand, the name, Bungee Oblečení.
Well, it wasn't Oblečení back then.
Oblečení.
Yeah, Bungee Oblečení. It was just Bungee sneaks at the time.
Okay.
At this particular moment.
And then you came up with that name while you were incarcerated? Was that after you got back home?
Oblečení came after I did that. The Bungee name came while I was in prison, though. Okay. The Bungee sneaks was in prison, and the Bungee stands for all the ups and downs that was going on in my life. You know what I mean? And I felt like Bungee could represent everyone because everybody in this room has had ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And for me, at the particular moment, I don't know if you ever rapped before, but you look like a rapper from, you know. I'm sure you did. I could tell. So I used to rap, and I used to be on tour with dudes, and I would be at my highest level and then get knocked down and go to jail. I would go to the Bahamas and be out there celebrating, and then I come back and go to jail. So it was like all the ups and downs that was going on, it was just like, I got to name something that represents that so I never forget where I came from. So that's pretty much what it was, and I knew that it would resonate with everyone. So that's pretty much what I came up with the name for. The Oblečení name came after I ended up getting everything going, and that was because, and I want to get back to what I was saying, how I ran through the money, because I want everybody out there to know how fast $50,000 can go. But the reason why I came up with Oblečení is because I came up with these new manufacturers, and they were on such a high-end level that I couldn't use just Bungee sneaks. I had to make it a more creative name to represent the level of quality that I was on at that point. And I think that early on, I was showing people in my neighborhood and all that, the sneaks that I had, and everybody kind of was laughing because it didn't look like real leather, and you know what I mean, the stuff just didn't look right. Man, ain't nobody gonna rock them. So I wanted people to understand, like, yo, Oblečení is a totally different brand. It's not the same things y'all was laughing at, and you know, it just got crazy for me. And the one thing that has messed up for me that I had to learn as a businessman, especially like someone that's starting out as a clothing brand, people don't take you as serious as they would a Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or anything like that because number one, they know you.
Dickie.
Number two, you don't know the business. Right. You know what I'm saying? Number three, there's been plenty of people that's like, yo, I got a luxury brand, I got this, I got that. But they're not really luxury. They gonna go get a T-shirt from somewhere. There's a Hanes cotton T-shirt, put a luxury name on it, and try to say there's a luxury brand. Right. But people that actually do wear the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all that, they know what a good quality shirt feel like, and that ain't it. Right. So you can't get mad if people don't want to support your business because you may not be ready for it yet. So that's what happened with me. I wasn't ready, and I wasn't really getting the support that I wanted. And after that, I ended up ordering some sneakers from China when I got the 50 grand, and the samples came back, they was perfect. But after I got the samples back, I put the order in, and the sneakers that I ordered, they ended up shipping them. And I'm thinking that, these sneakers are going to come the same way that the samples did. They're going to come straight to my door. I didn't realize that when I order 1,000 pair of sneakers, I got to go through customs. We have import-export brokers. It's got to get sent by, cargo ships on the sea.
So I had all these other trafficking some shit.
I had all these different expenses that I didn't know about. So I'm thinking, okay, it's going to cost me like 30 grand or whatever to be able to get these sneakers back. But I didn't think about import-export brokers, customs tax. If customs intercepted it, which they did, I had to pay for, my stuff to sit in the customs locker. So it was a lot of different things. So by the time it was all said and done, I only had about 7 grand left.
Wow. Out of the 50?
Yeah, out of the 50 after that first order. So when I got the order back finally after I did all that, and I had to didn't even have enough money in my mind to be able to get a truck driver to go get it. I got a U-Haul truck and went and got the sneaks myself. Yeah. I drove them back to a
from the muscle. From the muscle.
I drove them back to a storage locker.
I don't want to pay for that shit anyway.
No doubt. So I drove them to a storage locker. I put all the sneakers in the storage locker. And now I'm like, okay, I finally got everything done. It took me like a day and some change to be able to get it all together. I opened the box up and the sneaks is trash.
Wow. What you mean trash?
Quality
or moldy?
Yeah, quality.
Oh, okay.
When I ended up getting the sneaker sample, they gave me real leather. You know what I mean? They gave me like everything that I was looking for. But then it was like when I actually ordered the sneaker sole was like a centimeter thick. So if you walk in them, you're gonna feel stones on your bottom of your feet. They ended up putting all this extra cushion in the back heel, so it kind of looked like an elephant stepped on it. You know what I mean? And then instead of it being real leather, they gave me polyurethane leather.
Oh man!
So with all those different things that came into play, so it was like I already gave them the money. I can't get the money back. I got jerked.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting there like, damn, what am I going to do? I just spent all this money and I got to pay this
back. 7 grand left. This is all I got out of it.
Wow. So what happened was, I had maybe 3 grand of my own money, and that's all I had. I had 3 grand in my name, and I had the 7 that I had left over. And we sitting in the barbershop. And a couple of my homies is all surrounding the TV. Now I'm all stressed out. I got all this stuff going on. I'm thinking, I got these sneaks. It cost me all this money, but I'm going to be able to make like 250 grand back if I sell it right? That's what my mind's saying.
It's the bungee. That's the bounce back.
Now it's not working. So I'm sitting in the barbershop stressed out, just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And all my homies are sitting in there looking at the TV. And the Eagles fans is going crazy. Because they just won the Super Bowl. It was the Eagles parade. Absolutely. And I'm sitting there like, damn, looking at it. And my man was like, yo, if you made something with the Eagles on it, you'd be rich right now. And I'm like, damn. And that's when the light bulb hit. So as soon as they hit, I started sketching the Eagles sneaker. You know what I'm saying? I ended up creating this Eagles sneaker. And then I ended up, going to get the sneakers made. Now, it takes months to get sneakers made. So when I got the Eagles sneakers made.
How long was that?
Well, it could take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to be able to get a sample done. But if the sample's not right, you got to go back and get it done again. And it just takes time. So I didn't have that kind of time. I didn't care what it looked like. I designed it. I want y'all just to do this. Just give me my sneakers back. So I put the order in with another factory, and they ended up giving me the sneakers, and I had to find ways to be able to get out of that whole cargo ship thing.
Right.
So I found out that if I paid an extra $1,500 for the shipping, which it was even more than, I think the shipping was probably $6 grand or something like that. But it was $1,500 more to fly it over. But if I flew it over, then DHL picks it up and they bring it straight to my doorstep.
Yeah.
So I ordered I want to say 250 pair of Eagle sneakers. And literally, bro, this is no exaggeration. This is the reason why I know God is on my side. Absolutely. Literally the day before the Eagles game, after they won the Super Bowl, my shipment came. So I'm like, okay, the sneakers is here. They're in my doorstep. I'm going through all the sneaks, make sure the quality and everything is good. The next morning, I'm like, how am I going to hustle these sneakers? I'm watching the news, and Fox 29 is like, yo, come down Market Street. We having the Eagles pep rally, blah, blah, blah. I went and rented a U-Haul truck, drove down Market Street, and I
Put the
sat
sneaks
there.
in the back?
I had a wagon, bro, like a wagon. I put the sneakers on the wagon, and I'm walking up Market Street with the sneaker in my hand and the wagon pulling that joint, right? These are the sneakers right here. That's the exact shoe right here, right? Nice. Now, I remixed it since then, so this is what we have right now. It didn't look like that when I first got it, but that's like the new version of it. Okay. That's pretty much what it looked like.
Okay.
So I'm walking down Market Street with these sneakers. So as soon as I walked up to the cameraman, he was like, yo, what's that?
Right.
Yo, we got to put you on TV. So as soon as they put me on TV, it was the first time that I was on TV. I explained what the brand was. I explained what I was doing. And after I explained to them what I was doing, they was like, yo, if you guys want some Eagle sneakers, come down. I'm talking about people was jumping off the bus, pulling up in cars. Like I ended up selling 250 pair of sneakers in one day.
You the boy with the Eagle sneaks?
Yeah.
Like, I am.
We selling now. They going.
And what was happening?
You all going.
Like I was getting so nervous because all the money was coming in so quick that I had to like keep running back to the truck, putting money in the truck, and I would run back, sell some more. So I did that all day.
Shoot, all you niggas, don't mess with my stash, but buy these sneakers though. You know what I'm saying? Word up.
And then after that, we went down to the stadium, and I sold maybe like 10 more pairs out the stadium, and I was out. So then, you know, people were buying the sneakers even if they didn't fit them. Like they just looked at them like they was collectors.
They collectors.
So they was like, we don't care if it's a size 13, I wear a 10, I'm grabbing these joints.
Yeah.
So I sold everything that day. And that was like the beginning of my comeback. So I made my 50 grand back in that one day.
Bungee bounce back.
Right. Yep, so that was the bounce back.
If I may, Hustler, because this is just how we are around the Bols. What would you let them Jones go for?
They was 175.
Get him out of here. You know
175.
I'm doing you a solid.
175.
You ain't gonna find these nowhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Off the U-Haul.
Can you tell us
You know what I'm saying?
how much did it cost to make?
At the time,
Were you getting like 100%
it's a little
markup?
bit different now because I pay more for them to get made now. Number one, because of the amount of shoes that I'm getting, and number two, because of the materials.
Yeah.
But at the time, I want to say I was paying maybe like $28 a pair, something like that.
More money.
Profit.
You know what I'm
Profit.
saying? But you got to be able. But regardless, you put that designer. It's one thing to have everything for the shoe. It's what you sketched and what the fuck you put down with that, bro. That makes that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
that wasn't a shoe that I just grabbed a silhouette and just put the Eagles on it. I designed that thing.
We can tell, dog.
You know
That shit is what we call detail orientated, man.
Yeah.
Look at that, man.
Now my question is you blowing up? You on the news? Was the NFL hating?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Keep that shit under the radar.
It just didn't happen yet.
Okay. Yeah, we can. I'm saying keep that thing under the radar. That's all, man.
Yeah. So what happened was after that, you know, now I got the money back. Now I'm like, I gotta think before I move. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I made the money. Let me just chill out and think about what I'm gonna do. So I made a sneaker called the 24MK, which is on my website on bungeebrand.com, by the way. Mm-hmm. And it was an all gold sneaker with that same silhouette. It was gold and red. And I had the sample on, and one of my homies pulled up to the barbershop, and he's like, yo, you know anybody that wants a TV? And I'm like, nobody ain't no TVs no more. Like, say, the 90s or the 80s. Right. And he's like, nah, man, I got this big TV that my boss is trying to give away. It's like a big, like, it takes up the whole wall. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, you know, I'll help you, you know, get it or whatever, and we could just ask people if they want it when they come in. So I jumped in the truck with him, go down to his boss's house, and it was at a part of the neighborhood that I didn't even know existed. We pull up in front of the gate, the doors open up like this. We drive up inside, there's goats, there's llamas, they're all kind of animals and stuff. I'm like, yo, where we at? He's like, this is my boss's house. So we pull up this mile-long driveway, get to this big mansion, and we walk into the crib, and the living room was like, maybe like 10 of my living rooms. Mm-hmm. And I seen why the TV was so big because the living room was so big. Mm-hmm. And as we're moving the TV, this older lady comes out, and she's like, yo, what kind of sneakers do you have on? And I'm just like, let me put this TV down and explain what it is I have. You know, these are Bungee sneakers. They 24Ks. I just made them, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you have a website? And I was like, yes. I told her the website. At the time, I made the website with my cell phone. Like, the website was trash, right? So after she saw the, she didn't even check the web. She didn't write it. She didn't write nothing down. Didn't check anything while I was there. So, oh, okay. All right. And I just picked the TV up and we left. I want to say maybe like an hour later, my man calls me and he's like, yo, I don't know what you did with my boss's wife, but she loves you. And she wants you to meet her husband. So I'm like, who's her husband? He was like, man, I don't know what he does. Like, I work for him, but I don't really know what he does. So you're going to have to talk to him. So I'm like, all right. So I ended up giving the dude a call. He invited me out to his office, but the office was shutting down for that day or something. So he invited me to their house. So I go back to their house, and he's like, yo, just tell me a little bit about you. And I'm like, listen, man, before we even start talking, I'm formerly incarcerated. I've been in jail. Yeah, because I'm like, if you don't want to bang with me because of this, I'd rather you just cut me off now. I'm not going to play any games. I don't want to get my hopes up. This is what happened to me. And the boy looked at me, and he was just like, you ain't have a good lawyer, did you? and I did the same thing. I busted out laughing. I'm like, damn. So he didn't care about what I did. He was like, man, your lawyer wasn't good. Like, how'd you get busted for that? So,
I didn't hear robbery. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear murder. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a businessman.
Right.
Yeah.
So after that, he was like, listen, I'm not interested in investing in your business, but I know someone that was in your shoes 2 years ago and he's a millionaire today.
Wow.
I want to introduce you to him. Maybe he can guide you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to his office a week later because he invited me out to his office. And I walk into this conference room, and I'm talking about the conference room was long, had a mile-long table, but you could fit like 20 people at the table. It was just crazy in there, right? So there's one dude in there, and I'm thinking this is the one dude that I'm here to meet. So we just in there small talking, football, all that kind of stuff. And we're sitting there waiting for the main guy, the lead investor, to come in. And as I'm waiting for him, people are walking in, and they're coming in, they're having a seat. And I'm kind of entertaining everybody. How you doing? Nice to meet you. My name is Darrell. Nice to meet you. But I don't really know what they're there for. I have no idea what's going on. I know I'm supposed to meet this one dude. I'm like, am I in the right place? Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to get up and leave. I didn't know what it was. So finally, the dude that invited me there, he comes walking in, and he's like, yo, I see you guys all met Darrell. Did he tell you about his story? They was like, nah. So he was like, tell him about your story. So I was like, before we get started, letting you guys know that I was formerly incarcerated. And they was all like, oh, okay. So after I got done explaining all that, he was like, show him your sneakers. Show him everything that you created. So I showed him the sneakers. I pulled everything out. And at this time, there was 14 people in the room, right? So I'm like, I don't know who these people are, but I'm going to show everybody, right? So they're like, one of the dude was like, yo, so would you be interested in telling your story? I was like, nah, man, it's embarrassing to tell people I was in jail. I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, I'm fresh out of jail, slouching, slang words. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea, like, who I was in front of or what I was doing. And I was like, I'm not interested in telling my story. I don't want to. So the other dude that was next to him was like, well, listen, if he's interested in telling his story, I'm in. I'm like, in what? Like, what we talking about?
Right.
And then the boy that invited me was like, how many other people would be in with this situation, with this project? Everybody in the room raised their hands, said, yeah, I'm in. At this point, I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. We in on what? And they was like, all right, well, listen, them two back there, they're financial people. We want you to get with them so that way you can find out, you know, how much money is really needed to launch your brand. So I'm like, all right. And then, you know, one of the dudes come around the table and he was like, yo, like, you was in a real live Shark Tank and you handled yourself really well. He was like, 12 of these people were investors. And all 12 people want to invest in your project. So I'm like, damn, for real? And he was like, yeah, like, you know what I mean, all of them. So get with those two guys, get their numbers, and talk. So now I meet up with them the next day, the two dudes that are the financial people. And they were like, yo, just give us a rundown of your business, how you want to go about doing it. And I run it all down. They did their numbers, and they was like, yo, you're going to need like 1.2 million. And I busted out laughing like, bro, who going to give me
right.
Fuck out of here. Who's going to do that? No, man, I was happy with the 50 grand my man gave me. Like, who's going to give me 1.2 million? Nah. So he ends up sending the email to the lead dude, and he calls me. He was like, yo, I heard you need 1.2 million. I was like, well, that's what the financial people said. He was like, all right, well, we're going to pull it up. We're going to get it for you. I'm like, what? Word? Yeah, like my heart dropped. I'm like, yo, y'all gonna get me 1.2 million?
Say what?
And he was like, yeah, man. He was like, so what I want you to do is I want you to find a place for your office. You know what I mean? I need you to furnish your office. Whatever big machinery and stuff that you're gonna need, you need to go get it. So I'm like, word? He's like, yeah, we're gonna give you like $75,000 right now just to be able to get you going. So I'm like, all right. So I went and got an embroidery machine, got an office. Got, you know, sewing machines and all that kind of stuff. And as I'm like putting the screws and stuff on my desk, I got the music dumping in the office, chilling. Everything is great, right? Yeah, I'm great. I'm looking at everything. I'm like, yo,
you're great.
I can't believe
1.2 invested in me.
I jump in the truck. I drive down to the U-Haul spot. I get all the sneakers that I purchased. I bring all that stuff back to the office because the office was pretty big.
We leaving this shelter, nigga. We going to the office, right? It's upgrade day, nigga.
No doubt. It's on, right?
What you mean?
And I start putting the screws together to the last desk. And my man calls me. He's like, yo, you ain't going to believe this shit. I'm like, what? And this is one of my homies. This isn't one of the investors. This is one of my homies. He was like, you got to turn the news on. So I'm like, what? So I go turn the news on. I ain't even had a TV or nothing on at all. I'm blasting hip-hop. I'm in my 90s bag. You know what I'm saying? And I look at the news, and they're like, yeah, we got to shut down for 2 weeks for COVID. So I'm like, shut down for 2 weeks? I'm like, man, ain't nothing. I'm chill 2 weeks. I'm just going to stay up in his office. I ain't worried about it.
And then the world shut down.
Two weeks turned to 2 years.
And then my investor calls me, and he's like, yo, I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't think that we're going to be able to do this deal. This COVID thing is something that we've never seen before. I'm not saying that we're never going to do business with you again, but as of right now, we're not interested in doing this. We're not going any further. So I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do? He was like, well, we gave you 75, you got to make it work. So I'm like, damn. So what I did was I went to my landlord. I went to my landlord, and I paid for the rest of the year just so I could make sure that my rent was paid. And I dove in. Instead of me soaking and getting all upset about it, I went to YouTube University. You know what I mean? I want to know how to use this embroidery machine, how to sew, how to do all these different things, and I put everything together on my own. So for that whole year that we was locked in, you know, I'm making shirts from scratch, going to get materials, making stuff, cutting stuff up, making my own stuff, designing stuff. I got new software. I'm making new sneakers. I'm getting sneaker samples. I'm doing all these different things. So when my year was almost up, my investor hits me up and he was like, yo, you know, we just want to come down and see, you know, the property before, you know, it's all over. Come on down, it's cool. So he comes down and him and two other investors came with them. And they was totally blown away with everything they seen in my office. They couldn't believe that I made all this stuff from scratch.
By yourself?
Yeah, by myself. I didn't have anybody. There was no employees. It was just me. I made everything by myself. I had everything all set up, the shelves, everything all looked really, really high-end and professional, and they couldn't believe their eyes. So when they came down, they was just like, yo, like,
you gotta do something.
We don't think that this is gonna like really work because the economy's so bad right now, but we can't walk away from this. So they was like, we're not gonna give you the 1.2 million, but we're gonna give you what you need to get going. So I want to say they ended up giving me like 700,000 or something like that, which was perfect. I ended up going to Vegas. Now at the time, I'm still trying to find my way. I don't know what the quality materials are. I don't really know what I'm doing yet. And I ended up saying, you know what, let me go to the Magic Convention in Vegas just so I can see like what the new hottest thing is.
Wait, what's the Magic Convention?
The Magic Convention is where you go to see all the latest apparel, sneakers, and all that stuff. And it's like most of the time it's a season or two ahead. So the Magic Convention is basically just a fashion convention that everybody used to go to. Like all the rappers used to go out there. Like it just used to pop out in Vegas. So with COVID going on, I didn't really know what it was going to be like, but I wanted to go anyway. I take a flight out there, and I had to go a couple days early because the flights were like separated because of COVID. So I'm sitting in my hotel room, I'm looking out the window, and I'm noticing all these people are going across the street. And I'm like, man, I ain't doing nothing. Let me go over there and see what's going on. I slide over there, and when I get inside, I had to sign up to get in, and it was a damn manufacturing sneaker, high-end luxury show that had all the different manufacturers in it. Like, it was just like a thing for all the manufacturers to have. So you can go in there, and if you like what you saw, you can, you know, get the information and you can get your sneakers made through them. So I ended up getting like four different people. We got 4 different people. I got one from Italy, one from Portugal.
No more of that thin sole stuff.
I was waiting to meet Sosa. I found him.
So after that happened,
4 of them.
After that happened, I didn't even wait for the magic show. I went home. You know what I'm saying? I got what I wanted.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah, I didn't even want the Magic Convention at that point because I wasn't going to be able to do no business with them. Like the Magic Convention is really people that's trying to sell to buyers. Like I would go to the Magic Convention now, set up a booth and have buyers come past and try to buy something. So that's all it was. So I'm like, I already got the connects. I'm out. I'm not staying here for another couple of days for that. So I came home and I'm like, okay.
Early start.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I got a couple samples done. They got back to me in 2 weeks, made my samples, And now I'm looking at some shit that I was seeing Neiman Marcus. It ain't that same level of stuff that I'm begging to get into at one of the around the way boutiques. This joint right here, I can see this on the Neiman Marcus shelf. So now I'm like, this can't be Bungee sneaks. This got to be something else. So then I started thinking of all these different names. I started thinking about synonyms of like apparel that might have been a little bit more high end. And that's when I found, all these different names. I'm like, well, maybe I need to go to another language. And then I found a Czechoslovakian word, which was Oblečení. So I'm like, okay, Bungee Oblečení got a flow to it. Now I'm putting all this high-end shit together.
Hold on. I love how you running through things, but we gonna stop for a second. Stop. Dre, B, you heard what this nigga said? Where is the origin of this motherfucking name again?
Czechoslovakian.
This is a black man, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Put the clap up for him. You know what I'm saying? That is culture, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Once again, bro. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
We're taking the Czechoslovakia on.
Excuse me, Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. Go ahead, man. I just had to point that out.
So I ended up, changing the name up. And now at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to launch. And I ended up hiring a publicist because I was like, I got to get my name out there so people can know that it exists. And I remember the publicist, his name is Peter Breslow. He ended up coming to the office. And he was like, so what is your story, man? Like, what's good? So I started telling him about my story. And it was like, I seen it in his eyes that he knew that this shit was going to take off. I don't know why he knew it, but he knew right away that he was going to make this thing work. So he was like, yo, I can't promise anything, but I think, right now is a bad time of the year because it was like December or something like that. He was like, it's a bad time of the year, but I'm going to try to see what I can do for you. So I'm like, all right, Baze, I might be able to get you on TV, but I'm not really sure. So I'm like, all right. I want to say maybe like a week later, he set up something for me to go to Blue Soul Shoes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that sneaker store. Blue Soul Shoes, I think it's on Chestnut or Walnut Street. All right, so it's a high-end sneaker store. He got me in there. And I don't know if he got me in there because he told the owner that I was going to be on the news that day or what, but COVID was still going on. There was only 2 people allowed in the store at the time, and I'm standing in front of the store, and the news shows up. Yo, you're only going to have about 10 seconds, so you got to tell me what you want to tell me. I grabbed the sneaker. My name is Darrell Alston. I created this sneaker brand called Bungee Oblečení while I was in prison, and now it's in Blue Soul Shoes. If you want to check them out, come check the store out. It was that simple. Next thing you know, 6 o'clock rolled around. I was on the news. It was a 10-second situation.
You ain't just start wiping your car down?
No.
All right.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
So I was on the news for 10 seconds. After that, Jessica Cartaglia, she was one of the news anchors on Channel 3. Her people ended up hitting me up, was like, yo, Jessica wants to interview you on her show.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So now instead of it being 10 seconds, I got 30 minutes. Right after I did that show, my phone was blowing up. Channel 6, Channel 10, Channel 17, Channel 29, Inside Edition, the NBC Today Show. Everybody wanted to know more about how I created this brand while I was in prison. So I'm going from channel to channel to channel to channel to channel, doubling back, doing new shows on different, on the same channels. And it was so
Press
crazy.
tour, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like, I could not believe that people was interested in the story because living that life, the jail thing was simple. I was in jail. I just sketched some shoes. It wasn't nothing big. You know what I mean? But everybody else is like, but who else did that when they came home from jail?
Right.
I'm just like, damn, like I ain't think about it like that. But I know that it wasn't anything amazing. Like I was in jail and I was sketching because I was bored and I'm watching Wheel of Fortune sketching.
Right. So that also you thought.
See, no, like a while ago, I had to tell a good brother that made cigars, Chateau Mauricio. See, when you in it like that, you don't even look at it. But from afar, bro, no, real talk. It's beyond, like, it's a whole artistry. Like, you sat there with your mind and made that happen. You get what I'm saying? With all your sketches. And then from that, most people can have the sketches, but not come home and have the will to try to see that shit through. All right? It's real. No, this is real shit. This is a token of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, from all of us, like, don't take that. We appreciate that, but don't take that shit lightly because everybody don't got that switch that when they come home, like you said, you was cutting. Shit was fucked up. All right?
But you stayed motivated.
You get what I'm saying? You needed that day. You get what I'm saying? But that day gave you the bounce to go into the next thing. Then from the next thing, you fucked up 50 grand, but oh shit, a bounce. The Eagles came. You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? You never when you can stop.
His karma is crazy. He must have been like a hustler with a heart of gold or something. Like all these good things just kept happening, blessings on top of blessings.
That's the bungee, like you said, like real shit. So like, I just wanted to take that time out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it is something, dog. Because not everybody can actually have a vision and try to see this shit all the way through and not take no for an answer, dog.
But so you're getting all this exposure now, right? Is this what leads into Neiman Marcus, Foot Locker?
Yeah, I was just about to tell you that was the next part. I ended up getting a call from Inside Edition.
Okay.
So I'm like, damn, Inside Edition want to interview me? Like,
at that point,
I really don't even remember.
It don't even matter.
I'm not gonna lie to you. At that point, I was so like amazed that these people even wanted to talk to me, and I ain't even asked who the host was. Just put me on Inside Edition.
I don't care who hosts it. Just put
me
on.
I don't care who it is. So I ended up doing Inside Edition. You can even Google it. Like put Darrell Alston Inside Edition, and then you'll see the interview. Now the thing that was good was that I was getting all this exposure, but the thing that was bad is I wasn't in studio. You know what I mean? Because I had to do everything over like a Zoom call because of COVID. So it was like I wasn't able to like really enjoy it the way that I wanted to. Like I'm literally just going to my office, sneakers in the background.
You can't put the fabrics on. You can't put the kicks on. Like,
I didn't get to fly out. I'm not in LA.
So so that's pretty much what it was. So anyway, what happened was after the Inside Edition piece aired, the CEO of Foot Locker was on vacation and just happened to see my commercial come up saying that, this dude was formerly incarcerated. He created a sneaker while he was in prison. And he was on his way out the door. He said when he heard it, he turned around and came back and watched my episode. He ended up reaching out to a couple of his employees, told them to find me. So now I'm getting phone calls like, yo, my name's so-and-so from Foot Locker. We trying to get you the fuck out. I'm like, man, get the fuck out. I'm not playing my phone. Why you playing games with me? So I hung up. And then I got a couple emails and stuff. So I'm like, what?
This is real.
Let me see what this is, right? So I ended up entertaining it. And dude was like, yo, man, like we want to put you on Foot Locker. The CEO seen your thing. He really loves your brand. He loves you. And he really wants to try to make it work. Now, one thing that's crazy is I love the opportunity, but I wanted Neiman Marcus. Because I just told you, I was in Vegas. I got these high-end things. And I'm like, how am I supposed to put $300 to $600 pair of sneakers in Foot Locker? So now at that particular moment, I'm like, if these people are coming to Foot Locker and they have a choice to get LeBron James or Kobe's or whatever for $200, why do I think they're going to pay $500 for my joints that they never heard of before? So now I'm in a situation where I was like, okay, let me lower the prices down. I'm not really going to make anything because when you start getting into that high-end lane, a lot of people be like, man, how's Gucci trying to sell $700? It's simple, dog, and I can do the math for you. When you start getting into higher-end merchandise, it costs you higher-end money to make these sneakers. The sneakers that I made that was $600 in Neiman Marcus, it cost me $200 to make them a piece.
Compared to the 28 or whatever.
And then you got to start taking into consideration shipping costs. You got to pay for trucking costs. You got to pay for, all the overhead that you have. You got to pay for storage fees. You got all these different things. So now the $200
and you got to make a profit.
Now it costs $250. Now you're talking about going to Neiman Marcus, right? Neiman Marcus wants their cut. So now you got to try to sell I was always told to like charge 3 times more than what you paid for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I didn't get the opportunity to do that because I didn't want to like go up to $1,000 on my first Neiman Marcus launch. I was like, I want to try to keep it between like $625. But when you start talking about doing something with somebody like that, now you're talking about they want 50% of the retail. So if you're charging $625, they want to only pay you $325 for them. It cost me, but all that stuff that I just broke down, that's like $275 for that. So now out of each pair of sneakers, I'm only making $50 a pair.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So now it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
You got to try to sell in bulk to be able to try to make your money because now you're not making anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, I got to keep my lights on over here. Neiman Marcus got to pay their customers. They got to pay their light bill. So everybody got to eat. But the thing that's sad about it is when you see sneakers that you created or whatever you created and other people are making more money than you. Like, that's something that I had to, like, really understand.
So at some point, did you try to find, like, a shoe, like a mid-range, something that you could create?
Well, you could try to do all that stuff, but if you're trying to be high-end, you got to be high-end.
You got to go all the way in.
You win, man.
Yeah, so, like, a lot of the sneakers that I was doing, them things was costing me $250, $300 to make. And it was like, I wanted to make those high-end sneaks so bad that I didn't care. I was just going to do it anyway. And I felt like maybe what can happen is I'll do what I need to do with Neiman Marcus, but at the same time, I'm gonna sell direct to consumer too. Okay. So I can make double what I paid off of doing that.
You ain't got paid
but
Neiman
like,
Marcus no money.
What happens is you get people that's like, if I got the opportunity to go buy Gucci or yours, I'm going with Gucci because everybody knows Gucci.
Right.
Now, I mean, I got people that would tell me I don't rock like unknown, not unknown, but I don't rock brands with the names going across the chest. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right. So I started making clothes like what I have on right now.
Okay.
Cashmere sweaters, stuff like that. And I'm like, just no logos on it. I ain't paying that much for no sweater. But then I turn around and I see them later with the same kind of sweater on with Gucci across the front. Right. And I know you paid
that much for it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just be real with me.
You ain't want to pay that much for my sweater
from
me.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll accept it. You know what I mean?
But I feel like, not to cut you off, but I also feel like what you'll come in also with your journey is, I hate to say it, but we live in a somewhat following society. Hick-eating society. Like, let's just keep it a bean. Like, it's sleeves now. Fuck it. So, if once you haven't yet, but once you come across the right person that's really fucking with your shit and got some influence, you the new Amiri.
Yep.
You understand?
Right.
Like, you next up, dog. It just takes the right motherfucker, young boy, whoever with the influence, to start rocking your shit and pumping your shit out here, and guess what? You the new fucking Amiri. So it's only a matter of time.
Let me tell you what happened, right? So after I got done doing the Earn Your Leave,
EYL.
Yeah, I did EYL. And when I did EYL, it was like that following, it's all black business entrepreneurs, all that. Mm-hmm. No lie, bro, my brand blew up. Mm-hmm. As soon as everybody saw my story on there, my sales was going through the roof. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I just felt like maybe I just need to get out of Philly. Because it was like Philly was the reason why I wasn't getting where I needed to be. Yeah. And once I started getting to Atlanta, LA, Chicago, Detroit, all these different places, I got love from everywhere.
Do me a favor, repeat that for these niggas in the section. That's my birds and everything that need to understand. Expansion is needed for what? The business and the fucking brand to grow. Yep. Period. Yep. That's all we need to know.
And it's crazy because it was almost like that in the music business too. I was a rap artist, but when I started blowing everywhere else, that's when Philly started to support me a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think that, for the most part, I think a lot of people, especially in the Philadelphia area, they got their own brand, so they're not trying to support. Or, as a matter of fact, I can also tell you this too. One of the things that is very discouraging is I got to a level of quality, but that level of quality didn't mean nothing to the hood, and I really believe that they feel that way because they're used to people coming into barbershops with bootlegs. Mm-hmm. They're used to us saying we have a high-end brand and we have a Hanes t-shirt. Right. So it's like, in my point of view, I can't get mad at our community for not supporting my brand because there's so many people out there that's fake, that's making things bad for people like me that's making it real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that for me, things didn't really blow up for me until everybody started seeing me hanging with Bernard Hopkins. Mm-hmm. Everybody started seeing Ludacris wearing my stuff. People were seeing, Jazzy Jeff rocking my stuff. So people started to realize that, this dude's not playing.
No, it's real. And it's quality because they wear it.
Everybody started to support. But the thing that's so crazy, my own neighborhood still to this day does not support me. Wow. And I'm like, bro, I'm from the same block as you. I've been on the Nick Cannon show. Mm-hmm. I've been on EYL. I've been on, Inside
That cardigan
Edition.
Crazy, by the way.
Yeah,
we need to talk. That cardigan is fuck crazy.
So
where that's at?
So I got it. I got him.
All right, a large.
So I got you. Yeah. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, nobody in my neighborhood has accomplished as much as I have. How come everybody in my neighborhood is not wearing my shit?
Mm-hmm. Because he's like Siegel, dog. It's crazy. Sometimes you gotta go away to make it come back, and when you come back, if they ain't with it, fuck all that. Go back away again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the fuck it is, man. Yeah. Like, I love my city. This ain't never leaving me. This ain't, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is. But for your brand and everything, you got to grow. Like, Philly is like that. It just is what the fuck it is, bro. Like, you got to go out, have everybody else see your shit, embrace it, and you be like, yo, oh, shit. And then you come back, and he's like, we remember y'all niggas. Thank you. You get what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this, because we've talked a lot about your story and the background and everything, right? I'm going to get into the designer's head a little bit. Like, what inspires you? Like, what makes you want to create what you create?
I make it very simple and plain. my whole design and style comes from me imagining that I'm walking out on stage and I'm performing with this stuff on. And as an ex-performer, I always wanted to try to command a room with my wardrobe. So I gotta try to make the most outlandish things that I could possibly make that's gonna make somebody stand out in the room when they step in it. If you walk in the room with them Eagle sneakers on, people are gonna be looking at your feet. Nobody ever saw laces on the back. Nobody ever saw anything like that before. When it comes time for, this jersey right here, this is one of my Eagles jerseys that blew up last year. Nobody's gonna see a hoodie like this. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mother effing details.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And they got the zipper in the back.
The 6'2", the zipper in the back. Like, so listen, we doing this for all fall/winter season. This is built for every Eagle season starting from September. You understand what I'm saying?
The thing that's so crazy about that is I paid attention to detail on this because I ended up doing research to find out what football uniforms used to be made out of back in like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. Because I knew that it wasn't the same loose mesh. And it said it was made out of wool. So I'm like, okay, instead of me making a full wool jersey, I'm going to mix it with some cashmere to make it a little bit more luxury.
Right.
So this is a cashmere wool jersey.
And then let's not forget the vintage. Everything is detailed. The vintage stripes, you know what I'm saying? That's classic right there. On the shoulders, you know what I mean? Like, yo, bro.
So yes, I put a lot into trying to make it different because when people walk in the room, again, I'm looking like I'm a performer. When someone walks in the room with that Eagles hoodie on, they're going to be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I've never seen
that.
that.
On everybody's jersey. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you get what I'm saying? It stands out. And that's why it caught me last year. Like, then like, who the fuck is Ball? And where is this joint at? I need a warm joint to cover my fucking head. Like that joint, you know what I'm saying?
It's like right now, you know I just created I should have brought it with me, but I just created the new hoodie for this upcoming year. I call it the suit of armor. Now this is all that. That joint got shoulder pads on it. It has a removable helmet. It has a face mask that goes across the face mask, got elbow pads. And if you ain't into none of that, take it off.
Right.
Unsnap everything and you have a regular sweatshirt.
See, now that's what I was going to say. You have some stuff like that, and the 360 like a sneaker boot type deal. Yeah. But then you also have like the is it the Camarillo?
Yeah,
that's right. It's like you've got some things that are definitely more stand out. Look at me, right? But then I feel like you got some other stuff that is has more mass appeal. Yeah. Like you know what I mean?
Well, what it is, and I always tell this to people when I speak to them. I'm bipolar when it comes time for fashion. You know what I'm saying? One day I want super outlandish stuff, so I put that on. One day I want to be casual. I don't want to have all that. I want some white on whites. That's where the Camarillos came from. But I was like, if I'm putting on the white on whites, you'll notice I got the gold tips on there. And you know what I mean? I got like gold, interior. I got leather interior on the inside of the shoes. So if you see the details of the Camarillo, it's made out of all tan leather interior on the inside. And it has soles in it, so when you walk, it feels like your feet are getting massaged. Like these are all the different details that people don't know is happening with these shoes. Because if a lot of people knew what I was doing and how it was, they would really jump on it.
See, now I like though this whole time we have not heard him say that he makes like urban fashion, right?
Right.
People might try to put him in that category just because he's black. He's definitely high end luxury. But as a designer, right, and we see fashion trends come and go. Do you ever feel any pressure? And I know you like to do your own thing, but do you ever feel any pressure maybe to ride the wave a little bit? You know what I mean? Just to keep some...
What?
You know, you got the crowd today and they want a certain thing. So if you want to remain like a little relevant with them, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's a question for him. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever feel any of that pressure?
I definitely want to tell you that's a hell of a good question because it's crazy because I've actually been in situations where I try to be creative and do something that no one ever saw before and no one will buy it. You know what I mean? Or I get, oh man, looks good on you, but I can't see myself pulling that off. Like it'd be stuff like that. So finally I got to the point where it was like, okay, when it comes time for when I'm doing a team, it doesn't matter how outlandish it is. People's gonna rock that Eagles merch, whatever I do. But when it comes time for Bungee Oblečení, I can't get that crazy. I gotta try to stay like in a lane. Now, one thing I could be truthful about and transparent, that Eagles hoodie I just showed you with the flat, that's an Oblečení piece. I just took Oblečení off and put Eagles on it. I just made it. I just made Eagles piece out. Okay. You know what I mean? Because no one's gonna wear Oblečenis and never seen it before. People ain't gonna feel, So I just took all that stuff off and I created the Eagles jersey out the same design that I have for the Oblečeni.
But now, on the flip side, the buzz that you got from making it an Eagles jersey, whatever, you could go double back
Phillies,
and
Sixers,
put it back into Oblečeni, whatever.
Switch the colors up.
You know what I mean?
So that's pretty much how my design process is. I don't really try to ride any waves because one of the reasons why I started doing the whole luxury jersey thing is because my dad's birthday is in November, right?
Okay.
And he's a diehard Eagles fan. Okay. So it's every single year I'm going to the mall or whatever to try to buy some Eagles merch. It's the same hoodie, same jacket, same jersey, same T-shirt every damn year.
Right.
I'm tired of seeing it.
Throwback or something that you can grab in the mix.
And I'm tired of seeing it.
Right.
And every once in a while, you might got somebody that might do a little custom something, but it still didn't do anything for me.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm bringing something new to this, and I don't care who cares about it. I'm doing it, right? So I ended up going to the lab. I created it, and I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I was like, you know what? Let me see what had happened this first year. You know what I'm saying? If I do it. My birthday was on December 1st. I already knew that my social media was going to pop because of my birthday. Because when it's your birthday, everybody want to wish you happy birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's my birthday. I know I'm going to get love. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm releasing this on my birthday.
Nice.
So now I'm getting a whole bunch of happy birthdays, and what the hell is that?
Right.
And no lie, within 3 weeks, I was sold out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any more to sell by the time Christmas rolled around.
Speaking of that, right? And your birthday's in December. It's the winter time.
November.
I got a question. This is something you even think about. Because this is something that upsets me. I like sneakers. I like clothes. I hate when a designer releases something in a color palette that doesn't necessarily fit the season. You know what I mean? It might be wintertime, and it's kind of it's a little bright, a little vibrant. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's a dope shirt. But
now,
I have to.
Now you got to buy it now.
That's the rocket later. You know what I mean?
2 seasons ahead, nigga. I'm copping a Parker in the summer.
Yeah, why y'all put out the dope black sneaks in July? You gotta I gotta cop them and save them. Do you plan in advance to match the palettes with the seasons?
I think that I might be one of the designers that you might be mad at. You know what I'm because for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I have a problem following rules, and for me, it's who the fuck said you can't wear black sneakers in the summertime?
Period.
Who said you can't wear a pink sweater, a cardigan sweater in the winter? The pink cardigan. I made that for the wintertime. It's spring colors. So for me, it's I was one of them type of dudes where I actually got into an argument with an older dude because he said that you're not allowed to wear white after Labor Day. Fuck out of here. I'm wearing white whenever the fuck I want.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm wearing white every day to spite you.
When he said that, I Google searched where it came from.
Exactly. Some bullshit.
It was some bullshit.
Exactly. And y'all believe in it.
I'm not rocking with that shit.
Exactly.
Whoever told, and it's everybody in the hood kind of do it. I'm
Real
nah,
shit.
bro,
Just follow
so you ain't gonna.
written rules.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised you see me with all white on for a Christmas party. Because I'm rocking what I want, bro. I'm not going by no color palette.
Especially it's December if it's his
You're
birthday.
off season, I'm on my season.
Right.
Exactly. I'm not on
So
your
I
shit.
think right
It's
now,
my season all year.
in today's society, I think that it's more acceptable for you to do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So most designers are okay, I never really seen a pink sweater. Let me go ahead and try to put this together. And believe it or not, a lot of people won't buy it because of that. But for me, I'm rocking what I want.
Right.
But that's also because they don't got real stylists don't need a stylist. You already understand that off top. And then they don't know how to fillet them colors like that because they scared of that shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Fillet them.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to do that shit. It's a thing with it, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta play with them pastels,
you gotta
man.
slice
You know
it
what I'm
thin,
saying?
you know what I mean?
Properly.
Yeah, fillet.
Dickheads.
Yes, I don't really care about color schemes. Whatever it is that I'm feeling that I know is going to stand out, I'm rocking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much how I do it.
Now you've had all this success now, and we know you got it from the muscle solo dolo from the beginning. But do you have a tight team support system with you now at this point?
As of right now, I do have a team that works with me. But one of the things that I can say that, and I don't want anybody to feel sorry or nothing because I ain't worried about none of that. But the one thing that's crazy for me, I just had this conversation with my mom the other day. Every major thing that happened for me, right after that major thing happened, it was bullshit that happened at the end of the day that made it where I wasn't able to be happy about what just happened. So, like, for example, right? Neiman Marcus launch. I'm like the first black designer in that area to ever get into Neiman Marcus. You know, independent black designer. We get in Neiman Marcus, and within 4 hours of us being in there, we made $24,000.
Nice,
like
nice.
Which like broke sales records for us and for the store, right?
Nice.
And it's like right after I leave out of there, I have people that I'm close to, like, man, why was you ignoring me when I was there? You ain't even want to talk to me. Yo, that's fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, I got 300 people here. I'm working. And I had to stand behind above a rope to take pictures of everybody. And I had 30 seconds to talk to each customer. So it's like, bro, you can call me. You can call me when this shit is over, bro. You got my phone number.
You got my number. You calling me now.
We getting money right now, dog. Like, you see what's going on? These boxes is moving.
And then I had another one of my homies hit me up. And, you know, dude was like, yo, like, you know, like I always been, like, and it's crazy because Joyner Lucas has a song about this.
I forget
what it's called, but it was like.
About his homie.
Yeah, and it was wishing him well, but at the same time, it was like, fuck you, nigga. That real life shit happened to me. One of my mans that I was cool with from the time that I was old enough to know what a friend was, so the time of being maybe like 16, 17, this was my right-hand man, right? And as we got older, we started to drift. I never drank before. I never did drugs, never smoked a cigarette, nothing. And him and my other homies, they went that route. So for me, when I got to being 16, 17, I'm trying to chill with the females. I'm doing my thing over here while they over there getting hot. Yeah, they over there getting hot. So we kind of went this way. So at that point, you know, they started going to jail. I started hustling. I went to jail. We got separated. This boy comes back to me and he's like, yo, can I borrow like 10 grand, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah. Because I knew that he got high and all that. I'm not giving you those 10 grand for that.
It ain't coming
yeah,
back.
And plus on top of that, you know, one of the things that people don't realize is just like, yeah, I may look like I'm successful and I'm doing all these different things, but that don't mean I got a whole bunch of extra money laying around. Right. Because what happens
is tied up.
Yeah, when I start to make money, I start to spend money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I buy better things now. So it's like I'm still living the same way I was living before, so I don't have an extra 10 grand to give you. Nigga, like I just don't have it. On top of that, you wouldn't do the right thing with it anyway. Right. So then the boy ended up sending me a text message, and I still have it. I'm not gonna put him out there like that. But the boy started talking about how selfish I was. I've been selfish since I was a kid. He remembers when I had French fries, I wouldn't share with him.
You took it back.
Damn, don't let the fries get like that. Like, what we doing?
And the reason why I thought that was so amazing was because prior to that, yo, bro, you doing your thing. I love you. I got love for you. I knew you could do it. Ever since we was young, I knew you was focused. You was this, you was that, da-da-da.
See how quickly it changed?
And then it just went left.
With a little bit of shine.
So then after that, that's when I started getting the threats. Yo, if I, you know, when I find out you doing an event such and such, me and my team coming through, we gonna do that. And it's like, bro,
that's crazy.
Why? I'm not. What I'm doing ain't got nothing to do with
what are we talking about?
On top of that, nigga,
y'all gonna get locked up.
Like, yeah, we old now. Like I ain't seen you.
I will call the cops. No problem.
I'm calling the police.
I'm calling the police right now on you. Yeah. So lock them niggas up.
Yeah. So
can I get back to my business? Thank you.
So it definitely got crazy, and you know, it's like, damn, bro. Like I literally just had a good day at Neiman Marcus, and I'm dealing with this. Or, you know, I didn't tell you guys a story about the Nick Cannon thing. I'll make that real quick. Fox 29 asked me if I could do a custom shoe for Nick Cannon. I gave him a custom Oblečení sneaker. That's online too. You check that out. And he loved the sneaker, loved my stories. I got a chance to tell my story in like 30 seconds. And the boy followed me off the stage and was like, yo, I'm trying to put you on my show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Nick, you ain't put me on that show, bro. Cut it out. I mean, I thought it was going to Darrell Alston. Remember? No, it's like, Hollywood talk.
Hey, look, goddamn. So absolutely.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Man, if you was in LA, you'd be on my side. You know what I mean?
Probably get sprayed. But anyway.
So I thought he was going to hit that, but he ended up taking my number down. And within 20 minutes, his team was calling me, telling me to come to the show. One thing I can tell you, there's two celebrities that I met that made me feel like I was a bigger celebrity than them. One of them was Nick Cannon. When I went to his show, that dude treated me like royalty. You know,
shout out Nick Cannon.
No doubt, Nick Cannon. Yo, I got love for you, bro.
Bought shoes for all the babies, all the baby mamas.
All of them, man.
When I got there, boy gave me love. I thought that I was only going to get like a little, like 30-second cameo. Bull kept me on the show for like 15, 17 minutes.
Damn,
and
let
on
you shine.
TV, that's a long time.
Let you shine.
After he got done doing that, he takes me to the piano and started freestyling about my brand.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So that went national. And then right after the TV show, my brand blew up again. So I had that, Earn Your Leisure right after that. And it just kept getting bigger. I'm getting more and more followers. It went from 30,000 to 45,000 to 55,000 to 75,000. And now we're up over 80,000 right now. And it just keeps growing. The second celebrity that I met that made me feel like I was the big star, Jill Scott.
Oh, wow.
Jill Scott is the most thoroughest person I ever met in my life.
Shout out to you, really.
And it's like, her and I, we're pretty much the same age and all that, but she gives you this love that only my grandmama, my mom could give you. You know what I'm saying? And the smile. Yeah, the smile, the infectious laughter, the joy, everything about Jill Scott. She's the best human being.
And the
I've ever met in
realness,
my
too.
life, bro. She's the best. And I met her, I just was with her last week. Like right the day before the Roots picnic, I was with her. And it was like, she's just an amazing, dope person.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, those are my two best meetings with people. And like I said, the brand just kept blowing and blowing and blowing. And, it still had the ups and downs. It's like, we're doing good. And then right when everything is doing good, then all of a sudden, bam, no sales, economy's bad. Neiman Marcus isn't ready to buy any more shoes yet. And it's just like,
but
now I'm like,
you weathered those storms before.
Yeah,
that's why
you know what I mean.
It's a different type of storm.
Yeah.
So now, when I go to my monthly meetings, my investors is like, how come the money's not coming in the way that it was? What's going on? What are you doing different? Like, what's happening? And it's like, even though I'm the CEO of my company, I still have to answer to people. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people get that confused. Like, people be hitting me up like, yo, can you donate 50 pair of sneakers to such and such? Well, I would like to do that, but I got to clear that up with my people. So we're not really making that much money right now. So I can't afford to be giving away 50 pairs of sneakers.
Merchandise like that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't really do that. And then a lot of people be looking at me like, oh man, he Hollywood. No, I'm not. We're a business too.
Right.
And they don't understand business.
It's like, we're not making millions of dollars right now. We still trying to climb to get to that
trying
point.
to get to the million.
And they, as I said, they don't understand business.
Right. They just see what's going on, but don't understand what it goes.
They don't know the inner workings.
Net losses. Are we in the red? Are we getting clear? Where are we? What's the forecast?
And
what are we looking like in Q4?
Right now, we're still a new business. Like, we're still climbing. And the thing that's crazy is the people that be hitting me up asking me for money or asking me for shoes or asking me for whatever, these people don't even have a Bungee product. The least you could do is buy them.
Support me first before you
it costs you nothing to just support.
Right.
That's all.
So it's like, so you think that I'm going to support your organization, but none of y'all over there have a Bungee product. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? And it's like the same as that thing is like, I always used to get like a little bit frustrated for like the people from around our way that made it out of my neighborhood because I felt like they never came back. You know what I'm saying? That like show us what they did. But it's like, for me, I'm so frustrated with my hood, I might not go back. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, for me, Atlanta showed me love. So if I'm going to go out and show a neighborhood love, I'm going to Atlanta. Now, I mean, if I'm going to show another place love, I'm going to LA. If I want to show, I'm going to Chicago, Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I went out to Detroit. They gave me love out there.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, shout out to Big Gov too. Big Gov is the one that brought me out there. But it's like, I'm telling you, man, Detroit gave me love. So if I'm going to do anything for any communities, I'm going to the communities that showed me love.
Now let me ask you this, right? I got like 2 more questions that I really want to ask. You know what I mean? Before we start showing some of these pieces over here. New designers, you've been through so much. We've just heard, I'm sure it's just parts of it.
Oh, yeah.
Not hearing the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Give us the cliff notes. What's some of the best advice you could give an up-and-coming designer right now? Something you wish somebody had told you.
I have so much, so it's not one thing. But the first thing that I would say is do your research. And one of the things that I can tell you that a lot of entrepreneurs are not going to do is research. It's the same as that thing when I went to art school, right? I ended up going to art class, not art school. And I wanted to learn how to draw my sneakers better. The teacher was like, okay, well, before we get to sneakers, I need you to draw this flower. Fuck that flower. I'm trying to draw sneakers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, you got to draw this flower first. I don't even want to do this shit.
Wax on.
And then, she hit me up like, bro, like, stop being hard-headed. Listen to what I'm saying. And then I ended up doing it. Then I went from flowers to such and such, to cars, to trains, to faces. And then it was like by the time I got to my sneaker, I made my sneaker look like it was a sneaker that was
Now you
developed all these crazy skills now.
Yeah. So what happens is when I go tell these young entrepreneurs, yo, do some research on what your business is. Find out who you're trying to sell your merchandise to. Every time I say that, I'm selling it to everybody. All right, what's your age demographic? From 10 to 60. Like, it's impossible for you to be able to do that.
Right.
You gotta have a tighter demographic. Absolutely. So before you try to go press up your tees and you go get your Hanes t-shirts and you press your name up on it, figure out who it is that you're selling to. You understand what I'm saying? And then the other thing is, you don't have to say this is a high-end luxury brand when you're not high-end luxury.
Period.
If you have a Hanes t-shirt, then go to the lower-end people that's going to buy $8, $10 t-shirts. You can still make a profit. If you're going to pay $1 for your t-shirt, sell that joint for 20, you still going to make money.
Yep.
I mean, and then what you want to do when you finally get to the point where you're on the low-end part, go to Walmart, go to Five Below, go to Target, go to these different places and try to get accounts with them. Now you're making major money because there's Targets and Walmarts all across the country.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now for me, if I could do it all over again, that's probably the route that I would have taken because it's easier to make it. It doesn't cost you that much money to get started. And I know how to get into these big name stores now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now it's like I'm not trying to go that route. I'm trying to do the luxury thing.
Right.
But it's just the fact that for the entrepreneurs that are coming up, learn your business, learn who you're going to sell to, find your demographic, get a sample done, and put your sample out there to see what people think. And don't be hard-headed. Listen to what they're trying to tell you. Because, again, what everyone does that starts their own clothing brand, they get a T-shirt, they put their name on the front. Most people are not going to wear your T-shirt because they've never heard of you before. So what I would do is I would do a graphic tee. Do something like put like a car, put a basketball player, put something on there that's dope, that looks dope, and then have your name on it somewhere. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Because people are not going to just wear just a T-shirt with your name on it.
You need something to pull them in first.
Yeah. And then, like I said, do your research. The next thing, besides you doing your research, you have to learn how to manipulate your relationships. Because a lot of times when it comes time for clothing, even though we all look at it where it's like, you know, that's dope, I want it, a lot of times the people that are in charge of putting your stuff in these spots that you're going for, they don't care about how dope your product is. They want to know what you represent. Right. What does your brand represent? What type of cause do you support? Are you supporting cancer? Are you supporting rape victims? Like, what type of cause are you supporting? Because if you have a good cause, they're going to bring you in just because they want you to support the cause. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, like, these are all the different ins and outs that you need to know before you even start designing your brand. Like, what are you doing this for? For me, I'm doing it for the incarcerated people that, you know, get lost in the society of prison inmates. I also want to start donating money to the families of the people that is left behind after the person gets incarcerated. Right. Because one thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to support the wrong inmate, because I met some foul niggas when I was in there. But it's like, that don't mean that the wife or the girlfriend that's home left with the kids is foul. Right. Gotcha. So maybe we need to make sure that there's some gifts under the tree or food under the on the table for these women that are out here with these kids. And then also try to put together a program for these kids so that they can understand that there's more than basketball and there's more than football than like that. Like I ended up doing I don't want to put the high school out there, but I ended up doing a talking session with this high school, and it's like these kids are so lost now, bro. Like they don't care about nothing but sports. And it's like if they're not doing sports and they can't play sports, they ain't thinking about doing nothing after they graduate. And it's so bad. And the thing that I hate about the way that society is, they put young teenagers like in a position where they have to decide what they're going to do with the rest of their life. Like you can't be 35 and try to figure out that you're going to do such and such now because your life is halfway over already. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're 18, you got to know what you're going to do when you're 50. When you're 18, you're a kid. You don't know what you're going to do when you're 50. So most of these people out here, most of these people, most of these kids that are in these schools, they're either quitting school, not graduating, not focused, not thinking about college, can't go to college, so they don't have the money or the grades. And I realized that when it comes time for sports, I was one of them, where like we want to try to take the easy route to try to get to some money. You understand what I'm saying? For us, studying and learning, number one, is boring. Number two, it's hard. But for us to go play basketball and football, we play that in the hood since we was little kids. And you get nice at it, and now you in
Or
school,
music,
you playing.
bro.
Or
Don't
music.
be-
Yeah, music and rap. Because I did all three.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I know.
So for me, I looked at it where it's like, you know, I'm not taking into consideration until I went to prison. This is when I thought about it. I was a rap artist for years, since I was 12 years old. I got signed to Hilltop Hustlers at one time. That's how far I go back. Right when Cool C and Steady B and them got jammed up with their stuff, I was signed to Hilltop Hustlers then, right? I left there, went to Universal. I was on a couple different labels, right? The bottom line out of all of that, when I started to think about how much money I spent, because I eventually went independent, I started thinking, I paid thousands of dollars for my beats.
Studio time.
I paid thousands of dollars for studio time. Paid the engineer thousands of dollars to engineer it. I paid disc makers because I was getting my CDs and records and all that stuff pressed up. I was paying for somebody to do the artwork for the posters and the stickers and all that. I was paying street teams. I was paying managers. I was paying radio stations. I was paying DJs. I was paying to get my records put in the record.
Everything going out, ain't shit coming in.
I'm not getting shit. It's my music. I'm the one that rapped on this stuff. I'm the one that put this whole thing together, and I'm the only one that's not getting paid. So if I would have been doing this all over again, I would have bought a studio. I would have been getting paid from all these little young niggas that think they can rap. I'm getting all y'all money whether y'all get on or
paying
not.
for my studio.
It's $100 an hour.
Right.
Period.
Heard that from
You know
the
what I'm saying?
muscle.
Or, you know, be a graphic design artist or be something else in the music business instead of trying to be a rapper, because the person that's in the forefront never gets the money. The faces of these music or these rappers are not getting paid.
It's always the
as much
man
as
in the
that.
back.
Yeah, of course.
Well, let me ask you this, right? And this is my last question for you. And then maybe we can show a couple pieces. You've been a young man. You've made young man mistakes. You've gone into the fashion world. You've gained a wealth of knowledge. You have a wealth of experience, right? And it seems like you've learned a lot of lessons. You've been a good student, right, in life.
Right.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Legacy.
I want my legacy to be, I want to be known as the person that helped the man that never thought they would be able to get up. You understand what I'm saying?
Word.
So for me, even though I'm in a good space financially and I'm in a good space as far as like this so-called celebrity life that I'm living, I'm not happy. I'll be happier when I'll be able to bring my people on. And when I say my people, I'm not talking about my team or my people that work with me. I'm talking about people that, not necessarily that came home from prison, just people in general. I don't want you to feel like you have to be a clothing designer. You could be a plumber. You could be a chef. You could be a lawyer. You could be, you know, whatever it is you want.
Right.
I want to be able to be that person to help, like, draw the plays up to be able to make all these people get to that position. So for me, I'm actually getting ready to start something. I want to say next month we're doing it, where I'm going to start doing panel discussions. I'm going to start showing entrepreneurs how you can get the bag to be able to get your financing, how to put spreadsheets together, forecasts together, how to do all these different things. And I'm not charging for it. I want to be able to give back to the people that want to try to learn this.
Please let us know when you're doing that. So
Hustler with a heart of gold. I told you. I told you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're supposed to be. I got to
Free
find
game.
out from my team. I think it's like sometime next month we're doing it.
Yeah.
And we're inviting all entrepreneurs out for free. We're gonna sit down at this restaurant and we're gonna do a panel discussion. We have somebody from a bank that's gonna tell people how to get their financing. I'm gonna tell my part. We have other entrepreneurs that basically got their stuff from the muscle, and we just want to help other entrepreneurs.
Yeah, you need all of that.
So what I want my legacy to be is I'm helping other people achieve their goals. I think more highly about that than me getting where I need to be right now.
That's what's up.
That's dope.
That's what's up.
Listen, man, where's
Clap
the
it up for
clap
that,
sound,
man.
man? Yeah, it needs to be made.
Raise
Listen,
applause, man. Let him show a couple pieces, too.
Exactly, man.
I already showed the Eagles piece. I'll show this again. I made this Kelsey piece because Kelsey was retiring.
Salute,
I didn't realize
man.
he was retiring at the time.
Yo,
but
as you
That's
described
right
it,
here.
tell the
This is
people
a
where they can
hood.
grab this stuff from.
Oh yeah, go to bungeeusa.com, BUNGEE, USA.com. This is a hood that turns into a hood, or if you unzip it, you have somebody from a bank that's gonna tell people how to get their financing. How to put spreadsheets together, forecasts together, how to do all these different things. I'm not charging for it. You have that on the back.
Nice.
I
Authentic
have
pieces, man.
Phillies jersey, which
It's
is a
baseball
jacket.
season. Yeah.
This is a coach jacket. I never seen anything like it before. That's the reason why I made it.
On the low, I'm gonna need that John too.
Yeah, so this is a coach jacket. It's
Yeah.
nice,
Everything, my
thin,
nigga.
silky,
I ain't
smooth.
never peeped that when I seen the peep. Oh, I ain't
Yeah, this
see
thing
that.
is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. So I got the
Yeah,
pinstripes from the
yeah.
Phillies uniform, and Yeah, and then they got Mondo on the bottom, which is Harper's nickname.
Yeah, that can rock all the way into November. Yeah, I like that one.
Then I have this shirt right here.
That's dope. I like that right there.
That go right up under my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Eagles. Oh, yeah. I already got the throwback Eagles joint. That joint.
Yeah, got the red sleeves.
Listen, man, we gonna talk about that, man.
I mean, got that.
I need a bundle package.
And then this
and
right
you
here.
got a white Jalen Hurts Eagles jersey too.
I
It's not here today, but
I have them in white. I also have like a red gas station type shirt for the Phillies. So I have a bunch of different pieces that I don't have here. But if you go on bungeeusa.com, you'll be able to see everything. Or you can go to bungeebrand.com. We have all the pieces on there. And this piece right here, this is one of my favorites right here. Our camo jackets, they sold through the roof. We had Oblečení camo jackets, right? And they sold out like quickly at Neiman Marcus. So I was like, I'm gonna bring the camo back. So I ended up doing this Eagles camo jacket right here. And then, on the front it says Philadelphia. But on the back, this is the part that gets crazy. That joint looks like a paint splash. But if you
what are we doing here, man? Hey, get the zoom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, man. Authenticity. Man, listen.
Original.
So,
the Bols gonna talk to you, man. We're gonna need a bungee bundle, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done seen
we get a bungee bundle.
We need a bungee bundle, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So we have a lot of pieces, and I have a lot of other things that we're doing. We're going to introduce 3 other teams before the year is out. So we're not going to just have Philadelphia teams, and I'm open for suggestions. So if you guys want to give me some suggestions, follow us at Bungee Brand on Instagram.
Yeah,
and then drop
some
some comments, or even go on our inbox and be like, "Yo, my favorite team is such and such," because we're going to start working it out.
Just a thought. I mean, you probably on it already, but since you did some baseball joints in homage, you ever thought about doing some fly Negro League joints?
I have thought about that. But like, what the key is when it comes time for this is like, before I make a move on anything, I have to think about how I'm going to sell it first.
Right. That's
And what the deal was, like, instead of me doing that first, I felt like the Phillies had a good year last year. I'm starting right now, and I'm like, let me start off with this, but I am going to eventually get to that. It's just that I got to make sure that I have that target audience in the air first.
I ain't rushing.
Oh, no.
I can be patient.
You know what I'm saying? We patient.
The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm trying to still give that advice to that young man that could be the young entrepreneur, the young woman that's the entrepreneur. Do your research first.
It could be something that you could drop. Every year they represent Jackie Robinson.
I'm open to suggestions.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the whole league wears 42. That could be something that could drop around that time.
I want to see. I ain't gonna hold you, and that's just me because I'm different. I want to see some fly either Satchel Paige or like Josh Gibson. I ain't gonna hold you.
Everything that I do, bro, I'm telling you right now, I want to try to take this era back to the late 90s, early 2000s, where everybody wore jerseys. And I'm telling you now, everybody right now is trying to be super critical, where it's like, I'm never going to wear an Eagles jersey because I'm a such and such fan. It's like, bro, back in the 90s and the 2000s, you wore whatever jersey
that was fly with your kids, that went with your legs,
exactly.
And we
so
rocked
it out.
Listen.
So what I'm doing right now,
come from that.
what I'm doing right now, I'm making luxury wear. I don't care about these teams or who the teams are. We're making this stuff fly for you to be able to rock with your outfit. Period.
Yeah, right. So you can coordinate.
And that's Philly shit all day, baby.
All day.
You know what I'm saying?
All day.
What can I say, man? It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man, we got to give it up for the good brother, Darrell Alston, once again, man. Entrepreneur, fashionado, you know what I'm saying? Visionary. Goddamn, he cut hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't
dropping gems.
Exactly. It ain't a lot of shit he did. Listen, we ain't even talk about old candy. That's old shit. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't talking about other stuff. Y'all gotta bring me back. Y'all gotta bring me back.
We're round 2. You see them Eagles sneakers? Listen, that ain't just pop up on our motherfucking table by incidents or coincidence. You know what I'm saying? This good brother made that along with a whole lot of other shit. So listen, man. Episode 97, man. Another one, man.
Make sure y'all let them know that you need to come back for a part 2 with me because I got a lot more things I need to talk about.
Definitely.
Okay.
See, what he doesn't know is you already welcome back anytime. And when you come back the next time, now we go from just your intro. Now you get to do what we do best. Shit talking special.
Just chop it up.
And that's when we get into all the shit.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? He been chilling. We're going to make him curse when he come back. These motherfuckers! Let me tell you about these. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Check for us on all platforms all day long, you know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to BJ the Duke, man.
The Duke.
One of the flyest sets in podcasting all day long. You know, Philly's own Dread on the lens. Yep. It's your boy, Sleeves the Hustler. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Staff, the militant one, man, with great questions today. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Brother Byron was in his bag. You know what I'm saying? As he should be, man. And once again, man, the man of the hour, man. The brand. Bungee, that is. Now tell him the Czechoslovakian name. I couldn't even get it all.
Czechoslovakian.
Tell him, man. You get what I'm saying? Tell him again, man.
Bungee Oblečení.
Right.
Bungee Oblečení. Check us out. BungeeBrand.com or go to Instagram and follow us at Bungee Brand.
Listen, the Bols. Podcast that is Philadelphia to the fucking world. We everywhere. Peace out, baby. You know what I'm saying?